Hey everyone, want to welcome you to another video session with me, Warren Werbitt. Today, I wanted you to know how important the topic is that I'm going to be discussing with my two guests, that I even put on a shirt and tie. I am a little tight and a little stiff, but the topic is a little tight and stiff, but at the end, you should be a little loosened up by it.
So tight that you lost the tie.
Yeah, I don't even own a tie anymore. Threw the ties out in COVID. You wanted to hang yourself. No good to have a tie around. But topic today is about businesses saving money. And it's so important. It's important for a couple reasons. Why? The first reason, I think money is so tight today. Interest was just bumped up again yesterday. Don't know where that's going. People living at home, expenses are through the roof. Personal expenses when you go out and buy food, everything is off the charts. In your business, it's off the charts too. And I'm sure you're all freaking out because everybody's freaking out. So what's the first thing you do in your business when things get tough? You go and do a deep dive. Actually, what should you do is a deep dive. What most people do is not a deep dive. I've learned in the past that the best place to look for money is in your own place. And that's why today my two guests with Michael and Larry, and I'll get to them in a second, is for them to help you see what you can do and how easy it is. Wow, money in your own backyard. With that, I'd like to introduce Michael mneil. Michael, welcome.
Hello, Warren. Nice to see you. Thanks for having us on this morning.
Pleasure. Very important topic, I believe, especially today. So no better time than to have you on. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I've been a marketing and business advisor and consultant for years, and really helping out on the top line of business, helping businesses, tell their story better, more effectively in order to, generate elevated results. And as I repartnered up with Larry Nipon, who will introduce himself in just a moment, we came across a way that we could impact businesses even more favorably by making them more profitable. And that's a great segue for Larry. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Larry Nipon. I am Michael's partner, and I've been consulting to companies on top-line revenue performance and revenue technology for over 25 years. And what I realized in doing that is helping companies with top-line performance is great, especially when it works, but not every dollar that goes to the top line necessarily gets to the bottom line. And I had the experience of having a client who was in the business of helping very major enterprise companies reduce their corporate expenses. And it was a booming business, so much booming that Accenture bought them. Accenture was their number one client. And that validated the model. When I found the company that Michael and I are partner in, Schooley Mitchell, I saw a company that was doing this for companies in the small and mid-cap size space. And it's something that's so needed today. And we'll get into why it's so necessary today. But Michael and I are focused on helping companies keep more money in their business, because that means it's more money for them to reinvest in their business and actually elevate their top line performance.
Yeah. So for everyone listening, I'll just give it to you really simply. You have them come in, they look through all the items they're going to discuss, and if they find savings, you get back money. And that's a position that you wouldn't fill within your own company because you probably don't think about it. They'll tell you about the cost, which is really no cost to you if they don't find anything, and anything they do find, you guys split it, whatever, but it's about doing it. I could tell you when I had my own business, I didn't do it. I didn't, when I knew about it, I didn't really do it because I didn't think I could be bothered. I didn't think there was anything there. But more importantly, I didn't want to be told that I was doing something wrong. And when I finally sat down and someone talked to me and explained it to me, and I said, okay, go and show me. They went in, they did it, and whatever they found, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $8,000, maybe more, it's just easy money and it's sitting there. And I think most businesses make or spend mistakes, money gone really quickly because you're not watching every day what's going on, right? It's just, and the more people you have, the harder it gets to manage. So I just think, folks, if you're listening, continue to listen. Michael, Larry, either one, just tell me the basic fundamentals of how it works and what you do.
Well, let me go into that. I mean, you started off with numbers. People always love to hear the numbers. Our clients save on average 28%. And frequently it's significantly more. And for the industries in which you play in, quite often, Warren, for printers, the savings are even more. We can even get into some of those numbers for that audience. Now, as you mentioned, our service is risk-free. Our fees are generated out of the savings we provide our clients. And we become the single point of contact for our clients that want it for all their service-related issues. Other benefits besides just saving money, we monitor what our clients are doing and the bills that they're receiving on an ongoing basis for the course of our relationship. And what makes us unique, and this is the reason why businesses can't do it themselves, is we've been doing this for close to 25 years, worked for over 27,000 clients across the United States and Canada. And we have specialized software, databases, benchmarking tools, and the negotiating power that comes from doing this for businesses in multiple industries. And really the secret sauce, and I just said it rather quickly, is the data that we have. Nobody else has it. Nobody else knows what others are paying and what the proper amount businesses should be paying for the services in their market.
And let me jump in here for 1 second. It's important to understand that this is data that can't be recreated. It can't be purchased. It can't be artificially acquired. It can
No
only
AI,
be,
GPT, any of that stuff won't work.
it's straight time. You ever have your parents say to you, I wish I knew at your age what I know now? I hated that,
Not once.
but yeah, how about 1,000 times? But the reality is that the only way we have this information is because we've been doing it as long as Michael has indicated, which means that we've got access to hundreds of thousands of invoices and hundreds of thousands of implementations. But as importantly, when people buy services today, they typically buy the service that has the biggest marketing budget. I mean, we are over-choiced. There are 10, 15, or 20 different choices we can make in any service we want to look at, but we don't have the time to do that. And nobody takes the time to do that. So they usually pull the trigger on the one or two that are the most aggressive in selling to you. It's not usually the best choice. We have the knowledge of the landscape to help our clients make the best choice in the service, pay the lowest price possible, and make sure they continue to pay that low price by monitoring their bills.
Oh, listen, my own experience in looking at things in the past was pretty good. I mean, just transportation, FedEx, UPS was a huge savings because there's so many integrated people putting things together and doing things. But the one thing that I always remembered when I was being spoken to about this, and I'm giving the hums and the haws and the naws because I don't really want to listen or have the patience, it then clicked into me that really, when I go to my customers to sell them what I'm doing, I'm selling them on my expertise and I want them to use me and follow me. So I'm saying to the people that are listening, you're not going to do what they're doing. At the very least, give them a call and hear what it is. Who doesn't want more money to come back in the business that was there? And if I were talking to the printing industry, listen to me. The average printer is making 2-3% on their revenue. I'm not talking about the top 10 who are amazing, but if you're earning 2 or 3% on your revenue at the end of the year, don't tell me you can't use another 1 or 2% found on the bottom line.
Yeah, Warren, let me just slipstream for a second there. Just give you, for your print industry clients, those owners, those CFOs, those individuals that are making decisions. Just some quick numbers off the top. We saved a label printing company 39% on their wireless.
Okay, sorry, I'm an entrepreneur. 39% doesn't mean anything. Was it on $100? Because then I'm not impressed.
All right. Well, let me
be real. Talk to me in dollars with commas.
I'll give you two. Please. I'll give you 2 commas.
Okay.
For multi-location print business, for their merchant services on top of telecommunications, we save them $45,000 a year for 3 years. Not so bad, right? Particularly for a business that has the margins that you talked about. Another one, maybe not as rich, but for a magazine printing press, save them $18,000 a year over 3 years. What could an owner do, as a former print owner, if you had an extra $18,000 a year in your business? How could you put that to use?
By the way, that's a great question, because we talk about saving money, but I think it's important for people to identify with Why is that good for them? Well, how many times do business owners want to do things in their business? And the one thing they will say is, I wish I had the budget.
Right.
Well, they have the budget. It's in their business. We
Well,
simply surface the money so they can reinvest it.
so I'll answer your question. What do I do with $18,000? I have options depending on what's going on. Number one, I can keep it for myself to the bottom line. Two, if I have a line of credit, I'm into some debt, I can use it to pay down some of the debt and save on that interest. Or if I'm loving my people, I could take that whole $18,000 and put it into the social club and make sure that I do stuff for the employees who might not be as fortunate as I am because I'm running a bigger operation and have, more things accessible to me. So there is no reason not to look for that money, right? Period. But the real deal is you're looking for the money because business is tough today and you want to get whatever you can. At the same time, you're going to learn what to do going forward. So there'll be less of this after if you do it right.
That's right. And in this volatile economic environment, when sales are rocky, the cost of acquiring goods is going up and up. You just talked about interest rates going up another 25 basis points in the United States. That hits a company's balance sheet really hard.
But it hits, by the way, sorry to interrupt you, it hits everyone because the guy you're buying raw materials from, if he's using his line of credit, he's got to work some of that interest that he knows at the end of the year is into it. And if everyone's working this new interest in, everyone's getting bumped up, just from there. So tell me, I've had my own experience dealing with business owners who I don't understand at times when they don't jump on something when it's in front of them. Why don't people sign up with you right away? What are the reasons? Is it how you look, your face? I don't know, your voice?
Well, it might be.
Maybe.
but the reality is, to your point, Warren, it's funny when we tell people about what we do, one of the first things people say is, why would a person not do this? And the fact is, there is no logical answer to that. Now, there are a lot of reasons they don't do it, but they're not necessarily good ones. Things like, well, I've seen this type of thing before. They commoditize it because they think they know what it is. Or they're afraid that they're going to be writing a check that actually they shouldn't be writing because they didn't save money. Mathematically impossible for that to happen. Basically, the reason that people will not jump on this is their own skepticism. There's a great acronym out there for fear, F-E-A-R, fantasized experiences appearing real. All the things that people were thinking, 95% of them never happen with respect to this deal. And what they don't understand in the conversation, this isn't a transactional conversation. We're not asking them to make a decision to spend money, which 99% of the time, their business conversations have a risk associated with it. We're simply asking them to make a decision to explore the possibility that they might be throwing money out the door that they could be keeping in their business. No decision other than that decision is made at that point in time. And by the way, they can't pay me 10 cents until I've given them 20 cents. That's a perfect model.
Oh, I agree. I'm always amazed. I'm always amazed how people don't do the easiest things and the simplest things, right? I mean, my whole business career is about trying to learn from others what I don't know, right?
Well,
And from a karma perspective, I want to listen to you guys and others because I want my customers to listen to me. So I'm a big believer in putting it out in the universe. There's the victory pose, but putting it out into the universe so that it goes around.
Think about how hard people work on the top line of their business. And yet with all the effort, 90% of their time is spent on that top line. Yet what percentage of that top line is going to the bottom line? Nobody thinks that easy works. They think they have to work hard to make something happen. So the conflict here is this is easy. And 100% of what happens goes to the bottom line.
So
to me,
so I'm doing this because I had my own experience yesterday where I learned something or I thought of something. So I had a supplier shipping something UPS that I'm paying for express to a customer. Then there's a problem with the shipment and it was delayed. And then I'm on the phone with the vendor, my supplier, and then I have to call UPS because I got to find out why it wasn't delivered to the address that it was delivered to the week before. It's always something. And then I said to the person on the phone, I said, I just want to check. I said, am I entitled to a credit because this express delivery did not happen? And they said, absolutely. Right. So, and then I'm thinking, how many times have companies sent out stuff with express shipment and payment for it not to be expressed? Now, your customer might pay for it, but you, the company, are entitled to get it back because you weren't provided that service. You do that 100 times at $20, it's $2,000 like that. If you're a big shipper every day, right? Like I'm just, and that was just me. It came to me yesterday as I'm living this thinking, and I was never one who always looked at every dollar, but as life changed and things change and things get a little tougher and my customers, be it in the consulting or the print or whatever, are checking every dollar, I've realized, dumbass, you need to check every dollar too and cross-reference it and make sure that everything is what it is.
And to also answer your previous question, why don't people do it? We often get the response from the owner, the co-founder, the CFO, the CEO, we were on a tight ship. And I love getting that answer because they said, try us. What's going to happen after you go through the analysis? You're going to learn one of two things. One, you really do run a tight ship. Holy moly. You know, give the person who's doing it.
Sorry again to interrupt. I just, because my brain is, you know, the ADD thing. What percentage of the people that you do that with, do you not find anything?
It's 5% or less.
Right. So 95% of the time, you're finding somebody something for them to look at.
That's right. And we're giving them the options on what they need to do in order to move forward. And oftentimes the saving are found within the existing vendor because the client just doesn't know how to negotiate. They don't understand the services that they're paying for. And there's savings there that they never even thought of. Other times we're going to bring in other vendors that are best of breed, higher quality services. And
sorry, question. If you bring in vendors that you're recommending, are you getting anything from them?
No.
I just want clarity, because if it's about saving money, we shouldn't be giving it here and losing it over there. So it's all clean.
As Larry mentioned earlier, you know, we are completely vendor agnostic, and which makes us special. There are other people that do this kind of work, but they're representing a specific merchant card vendor. They're representing a specific waste company or software company.
You just represent the customer.
We represent the customer
and your company, of course.
And of course, Schooley Mitchell. And it doesn't matter for us who the vendor is. It's making sure that we provide the best based on understanding who the business is.
I think this is a very important point to bring up, which is why Schooley Mitchell exists, how it was created. Dennis Schooley, the founder, was an accountant, Big 10 accountant, and he had a lot of clients. And what he found is a lot of his clients were utilizing the same vendors, and yet they were all paying different rates. And he's looking at this and he's saying, something's wrong here. And he actually went about renegotiating some of the contracts for his clients. He suddenly realized, you know what? Being an accountant's fine, but this is a really good business. And that was 25 years ago, and it has turned out to be a phenomenal business.
Oh, so I'll tell you from my own experience. I remember back in, I don't want to give a date because then it dates me a little, but business was booming. We were making tons of money, and then things got a little tough, and it was 2008. Everyone remembers that. We were all feeling the pain together. And then where I went from what I thought was an amazing company, we were making oodles of money, to when things got tough and we're hunkering down, you know, it was like I saw where all the water was leaking in the walls and I couldn't run around fast enough to plug it in. And those are the losses that you're helping people find, that we don't find until we're in trouble. Because when we're doing well, we think we're good, but really what we're saying is it doesn't matter. We don't have to check, and you should always check.
That's right.
My experience, right? I'd rather I have the money in the company than every one of my suppliers is sharing it. Not that they're not entitled to make money for what they do, but you want to do that. So, oh my God, this is like amazing. So we're going to cut this one short because we're going to be back every week for the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks, as long as we have stuff that's important to tell you. I'm going to, when I post the video, if you're watching it, then you already know, but they'll always be posted with the website with links to Michael and Larry. Boys, if you get calls from people and they're a little hesitant, like, you could tell them to call me, right? I want to make sure that people really make the right decisions in helping themselves and not just bad decisions for whatever their reasons are. So I'm happy to help assist anybody. To everybody else, really just, it's free to reach out and talk to them. If they find something, it's still free. Okay. It just means you're putting something in your pocket and not everything's leaving the building. You're getting some back. I don't know how to better say it. Before we go, you boys want to add anything?
I think we
you
covered a
nailed
lot.
it.
Okay, great. So we'll have some more defined topics for the next little get together. So we'll hit, a couple things in detail that you'll know what they're looking at. For anybody out there, please feel free to reach out to me if you'd like some information. Happy to talk to you as a business owner. Been there, done that. Lost it, found it, lost it, found it, peaks and valleys. But really today it is so important. Michael, Larry, awesome time. Thank you. Glad that we met and we could help some people out there save some money in their businesses. And to everybody else, stay tuned and come back.
Thanks for having us, Warren. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Warren. Look forward to the next conversation.
Great. Pleasure.